Hi guys, and yet another review, and this time of the AUDIOSENSE AQ4. It's a little bit delayed. I apologize for that, only because I really wanted to listen well to the AQ4. I really wanted to give it its deserved attention, and it definitely was not in vain that attention that I gave it, and that weight, let's put it that way, is going to be quite justified, because what I have to say about this IM is it's quite surprising to a certain point. Anyway, packaging, we know what the packaging is like with most of AUDIOSENSE products, although in this case it's a little bit simpler by comparison to other IEMs that they have. It brings ample tips, brings a nice case, which you guys already know that I want to sleep inside of it because it's so nice and cozy. Oh my god. And well, I'm not using the standard cable, we already know that much. I'm using an XINHS cable, and it's a silver-plated cable. I'll place a link to this cable as well. The IMs themselves, well, resin shell, decent enough weight, well constructed, well built. It follows very much the appearance of the T800s and that series of IEMs, the AQ0 as well. By the way, the AQ0 as well, it's a review that I've done many months ago, maybe 7 or 8 months ago, and it's one of those IEMs that gets absolutely very little love, and it deserves it, because it's a really good IEM. I was actually listening to it a few days ago, and then comparing it to the Aria and comparing it to the Olina. And let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something. It is a truly special IM. It is very good, and it should be getting a lot more attention than what it's getting. It really should. And it's not because of the price, because the price, it's the same thing as an Olina. The build quality is there. Everything is there. It's just one of those things that you can't sometimes explain or understand why. Anyway, on to what matters, which is our AQ4. AQ4, as we know, stands for 1 dynamic plus 3 DDs. 3 BAs, sorry. The dynamic driver, the 10mm driver. The BAs are all by Knowles. And yeah, basically in a nutshell, that's what matters. I mean, it's not really important to know what the BA models are, and that's irrelevant. What is important to know is, are they well implemented? And yes, they are very well implemented. What have I compared it to? Well, I've compared it to excuse me, two IEMs which are special in their own way. The Yume, the Midnight Edition, which is a collaboration with Clinical, is a 1+2, and it's an improvement over the original Yume, and it's priced around the same price. We're talking about $200 for this, about $190, $200 for the AQ4, and about $280 here for the Volume. I've placed, and I've chosen these two for specific reasons, like I said. The Yume, overall, it's a nice sounding IEM. I mean, if you guys have watched my review, you will see that I liked it. It's a nice sounding IEM. It does nothing wrong. It does nothing particularly well as well, in the sense that it's not an IM that will wow you and, oh my god, this is no. Compared to its original, and I didn't have the opportunity to listen to the original, but I will be correcting that. From what I understood from other reviewers, the technicality side has been improved, and in technical terms, yes, it is good. However, and this is where this will explain what I was saying just a few seconds ago about not doing anything particularly well, is for a $200 IEM, it has got acceptable technicalities, but not $200 worth technicalities. So it is an improvement over the original, but I think there's still margin for improvement. The bass is more sub-bass focused. The mids are nice and clean, very relaxed, very laid back, nothing forward, nothing back. Very, tonality and timbre are very correct. It's got nice extension up high, at the high end of the frequency range. It's a nice sounding IM. Okay, very easy to listen to, very relaxed. On this side, we have the SOFTEARS Volume, the cheapest IM from SOFTEARS, $280 give or take, 1+2 as well, sporting again 2 Knowles BAs and a beryllium coated or beryllium diaphragm dynamic driver. And this was an IM that wowed me when I heard it the first time. The amount of detail that this IM has, for me at least, and for what I listen to, is just unbelievable. I know some other reviewers, excuse me, didn't exactly share the same opinion. They thought it was perhaps a little bit too bright. They thought as well that it changed very much its profile depending on what source you're connected to and so on and so forth. Personally, and I used it with the TK2, I used it with the Megatron, I used it with the DX3 Pro, I used it with the NX7, I used it with the Hifi Hip DAC. Yes, there were ones that matched better than others, I'm not going to deny that, but overall, I found them all very competent, and the volume will surprise by how detailed it is, in my opinion, and will surprise by how much quality the bass and the lower mids have. Really something else. I went as far as to say in my review that in instances I actually preferred it to the variations, and I have the variations in very high regard in my collection. Enter the AQ4. And the AQ4 is kind of the marriage of these two. Ultimately, it doesn't have the detail retrieval that the volume has, but it's got more engagement. It's more fun to listen than the SEEAUDIO. Not that SEEAUDIO is not fun to listen to, but it's got more, so more detailed retrieval, definitely better technical abilities than the SEEAUDIO. Bass is sub-bass focused. It's got good extension, good texture, with a little bit more of mid bass as compared to the SEEAUDIO. Not as quick and as resolving as the volume. Mids, I found them slightly more forward than the SEEAUDIO, but in a good way. Very, very clean, very detailed. I personally found the female voices on here to be absolutely amazing. For example, Unconditional by Soul Persona. It's one of the songs that I usually use to test my IAMs and do my reviews. I thought that it sounded absolutely flawless. Very, very nice. High extension. It's nice. It's clean. Non-sibilant. I never found it to be sibilant in any way or form. Very detailed. Not on the level of the volume, mind you, but very detailed. For example, one of the songs that I thought it played, well, there were a few songs, but for example, Seven Sisters by Dominic Miller, the guitar, the sense of 3D, the cleanliness that the AQ4 was able to reproduce was quite impressive. Maybe the overall cleanliness not on the level of the volume, but I mean, very good, very good. High Stepping by Larry Carlton as well, flawless reproduction. Like I said, in terms of male voices, female voices, Unconditional by Soul Persona, beautiful. Dark Day, the Blues Company, the male voices, the male voice here actually was surprisingly good. I had that song, for example, in very high count with regards to the SEEAUDIO. The SEEAUDIO, when I listened to that song, just, I don't know, it's got this magic about it. But surprisingly, it actually was able to keep up with the SEEAUDIO in that song. George Benson, a song that he has, which is called "See Smooth," the guitar, the bass line that you have, it's very well reproduced in the SEEAUDIO, very well, but it just lacks a little bit of dynamic of liveliness that you have on the AUDIOSENSE and that you have on the Volume. They just have this. You have to listen to the song and actually listen to these IEMs to understand what I'm trying to say. Another song which has amazing effect in terms of imaging and soundstage and 3D effect overall is "I Will Always Love You" by Christopher Goss. And yes, the Volume is the best. The Midnight does it in a very relaxed manner, but does it well. This is kind of the in-between. And that basically kind of says, in a nutshell, what I personally think of the AQ4. The AQ4 is a IEM in a price range which is super competitive. You have a lot of IEMs, be it single DDs, be it hybrids 1+2, 1+3, 1+4, which are all excellent. And so when you enter that price range, you got to make sure that you do something well. And AUDIOSENSE has done it perfectly. They have not tried to do anything crazy in terms of the overall signature or do anything unusual. No, they've just tried and they've succeeded in doing a very well balanced sounding IEM. I've heard some reviewers say that they find it a little bit too bass heavy. I don't personally. I don't. I think it's very coherent. Everything is very much evenly matched. Yes, I'm not going to deny and say that the signature is perhaps a little bit V-ish, but it's tastefully done. It's well done, and that's the main thing. There's nothing wrong with the V signature, or no. It all depends on how it's done, and it's very well done. So the AQ4 is kind of a very positive alternative and a very safe alternative to the Midnight if you want something with a little bit more guts, but you don't have the money to reach the Volume. I mean, Hi-Fi Go, for example, has got them at around $179, if I'm not mistaken now, which is $100 price difference. And you know, the Midnight is a little bit more expensive. The Midnight, I believe they are selling it now for around $200. So it is a very safe choice. It's well built, it's well accessorized, and it sounds fantastic. Honestly, it sounds really, really, really good. And you know, fine. I'm a fan of AUDIOSENSE. I like all their products. I'm not going to deny it. Some a little bit more than the others. I mean, I think the DT300 is a fantastic IEM, far superior, in my opinion, to the SEEAUDIO Bravery. But again, for some reason, it just didn't get the traction, just didn't get the success that the Bravery, for example, got. And it's an IEM which is at least $100 cheaper than the Bravery. The DT600, I find it an absolutely flawless IEM. Again, for the $240 give or take that it costs, there is really nothing in terms of a 6BA, all BA, 6BA IEM that you can say outright, oh no, it beats it. No, there isn't. Yes, there was some talk, oh, but you have to use an 80 ohm adapter or 30 ohm adapter to. You know what? So what if you have to use it? That for me is not a deal breaker. If it sounds good, that's what matters. And the DT600 is amazing. The AQ0, like I was saying, the single DD priced at around $100. Again, another IEM that for some reason just hasn't been getting a lot of traction. Maybe in some markets it will, but the truth is, it's a fantastic IEM that can trade blows with an Ariat, can trade blows with an Alina, and if you have it, you should be happy and proud to a certain extent, because it is really a good IEM. And the AQ4 is a very positive improvement over the AQ3. The AQ3 was definitely very much a V-shaped IEM, probably one of the IEMs that I didn't enjoy so much out of AudioSense. And the AQ4 is spot on. They've really hit the nail on that one. The tuning is very well done, very coherent, very balanced, like I said, and an excellent choice if you want something which kind of has the best of what the Midnight offers, which is very laid back, very relaxed, very and this very detailed, very it's an energetic reproduction that the Volume has, but it's very well done. And this is kind of the in-between at a super competitive price, which is usually the case with AudioSense. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Like I said, there's not really much more that I can say. It's basically this. Hope you enjoyed it, and you really know, I'll post on the review, I'll post the songs that I usually use. I can actually post links to all of these songs that are some of the songs that I focused more in doing these comparisons. But I'll post my full playlist so that you guys can have a quick listen. And quick listen, it's a pretty big playlist. But I'm sure you'll find there's songs that you will enjoy for sure. And yeah, of course, if you like the content, please subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.